Hi Pisces, welcome to your September 2021 Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Pisces, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, if you are... before we start, remember these are general readings, so not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that's just fine. It's always good to use your own discernment. Before we start, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your not your this is not a weekly wrap. All right, for your actions and interactions with the world at large, that card seems to want out. You have the Knight of Wands. So this is going to see you getting dynamic, passionate, vibrant and bold this month, right? It looks like you're charging ahead with something as well. So I kind of get the feeling that this month you're not sitting around planning, you're not waiting, you're just getting straight into it. Like this month, I actually feel like you're going to be charging towards someone or something this month, right? And I get the feeling that you are going after something in stellar fashion. It's like, I'm not waiting, I'm not holding back, I am going for it. I am 100% in on this. And I kind of feel, I get the feeling as well, you're not going to be like, whether there are naysayers, whether there are people that believe you or don't believe you or whatever, whether they're on board, whether they think it's a good idea, you're like, no, I'm doing this, this feels right, I'm doing me, and this is what I'm going with. There's something this month that has you excited or really moving ahead in a really visceral way, right? So you've got that powerful sort of, yeah, it's time, get to it, kind of energy behind you, which is great. For your communications and conversations with the world at large, you've got the Devil card, right? So it's great for you to approach projects like this. It's great for you to approach launches and all the rest of it like this. The Devil card in the communications suggests that maybe this month, like, usually you take into account everything and everyone else, right? You're Pisces, so it's naturally built into who you are. This month you could find that is like you go from 0 to 100 with no in between. You might find, or maybe even hear people saying to you this month, like, I'm sorry, what's going on with you right now? The reason I say this is because that Devil card, it kind of suggests that you this month are quite either forceful in the way that you're speaking to people, or maybe there's something that you believe or that you feel really viscerally that you're trying to hammer home. And I think that's wonderful. It's so good to be fired up and passionate about something, but you have to let people either accept it or not accept it. If they want it, then great. If they don't, also great. It shouldn't affect you so much, right? This month I want you to be careful with, because usually you kind of try to, you know, gently do everything, but this month is like, that's gone out the window, and you're like, if you don't like it, I will shove it down your throat. You will have it. Like, I want you to err on the side of caution with that this month. Now, the other way that this could show up for you as well, especially next to the Knight of Wands, and we're going to talk about your work in a second, this could literally create workaholic energy for you, right? So this month you've got to be careful, because you could just literally go hard and go ham, which is good, right? Sometimes we have to. But just remember to build, you know, moments of reflection, etc. into this. Now, for those of you that work for somebody else, you might feel this month like you're on a bit of a mouse wheel. Do you know what I mean? Like you might just feel like, you know what? I just feel like I'm doing the same thing all the time over and over. I just feel like I'm not really gaining the traction that I would like. And so maybe that sort of, you know, I'm going in for this. Maybe it's a visceral reaction to something that you feel like you're not in control of. Just keep that in mind. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, workaholic tendencies, like serious workaholic tendencies. You've got to be careful this month when it comes to your those of you that are retired or no longer working. It could kind of be pleasure at all costs this month, and so it's like, fuck it all, right? Just chuck all caution, everything to the wind. Again, not necessarily a bad thing, but if try not to be dismissive this month, because there's an air of that with these cards as well. So just something to consider. For your heart and half sector, you've got the Two of Cups. This is gorgeous, right? So if you're meeting somebody new, which is definitely a possibility with these, you just want to make sure that they're actually meeting you, and not the you that's had 7 coffees, is supercharged and, you know, is on steroids. Or maybe the you that is completely different and settling into this sort of new aspect or energy of self. Be yourself, because, you know, it's you that people are ultimately going to love. It's you that people are ultimately going to connect to or with. I just kind of feel like there's too much change at once, and it's not subtle. It's just kind of like, you know, like a brick in the face. And there's potential here. There's real potential here. Now, I have to talk about some of the more challenging aspects of this, because it's right next to the Devil card. For those of you that are in partnerships, relationships, situationships, I'm going to call out here, maybe to a lesser extent actual relationships, but if you're in a situationship, this combination can sometimes speak to the other things that we get from personal interactions that we don't want. So this can be things like STIs, infections, all kinds of stuff. Be careful this week, whether you're single, whether you're partnered. You look after your own personal health, right? Very, very important for this combination of cards. Now, for those of you that are in partnerships and relationships that have been on the rocks, another way that this energy could show up for you is literally, it's almost like you're not being heard, right? Or somebody's trying to subdue or to subjugate you. And so in response, you just kind of explode and you're like, yeah, freedom at all costs, liberation at all costs. I don't care where it leads. I don't care who it hurts. Like, you're going to have to measure that. Now, outside of that, for those of you that are in positive, beneficial, loving relationships that are good, the Two of Cups suggests that you're going to get a whole lot more of that. You could be just maybe overindulging in intimate time with your partner, which is not always a bad thing. Sometimes you've got to make up for the drought, right? For those of you that are single and looking and open, the Two of Cups suggests that you could really, you know, there's potential here, absolutely. For those of you hoping to mend a relationship or a rift of some sort, this is actually very nice. With that Devil card though, you are determined to get your point across. Like, if we're going back in for this, if we're going to do this relationship again, here's what you need to know. Here's what you will either do or you will not do, and here is what I will or will not accept. Like, you're very, very open and very vocal about this stuff, which I actually think is a good thing. For your money and materials, you've got the Queen of Pentacles. Love this, right? So you're definitely looking to get the most out of your finances and your resources this month. You could have some really great ideas for furthering your financial goals or financial ends this month. With that Queen of Pentacles, it looks like you're getting the money under wraps, right? So you're getting to grips with the finances. With that Two of Cups as well, an idea or something that is shared with you by a loved one or somebody that you care about could do really well, or they could give you the impetus for moving forward with something. With the Queen of Pentacles as well, this can be a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo person, which is very likely to happen for you guys. Why? We've got the new moon in the sign of Virgo. We've got that powerful full moon in your sign at the end of the month, so that powerful full moon in the sign of Pisces, which is highlighting you in some way, shape or form, whether it's your sun, your moon, or your ascendant. This is highlighting an aspect of you and bringing you to the fore, maybe bringing one of your ideas into the limelight, or maybe even into manifestation, which I absolutely love. Now, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, your Queen of Pentacles, this month you definitely want to look at your diet, right? Because you could be where you're so busy, it's just kind of like, oh, well, I'll eat on the run. So, you know, maybe you end up having 12-hour days and you realize, oh my God, I've only had a coffee and a bite of a sandwich today. That's one aspect of this, the way that this could show up for you. The other is, this could literally be you getting to grips with your actual diet, what you eat, how you eat it, and how that stuff either affects your mind or your mood or your body. That's going to be quite important for you this month as well. And then for your home and environment, this is lovely. You could literally just be working on stuff, doing DIY. If you are partnered and in a relationship, this is you guys getting around to those tasks together. If you're single, looks like you might be roping in a friend or somebody that you care about is helping you, you know, beautify the home or get the most out of your home. It could just as easily be that you are having a get together. Your first week of the month, you have the Justice card right underneath. Like, you are 100% in it, right? From the get-go, from the beginning of September, whatever it is that you feel calls you to right, I'm passionate about this, I want to do this, I'm going for it. You are like all guns blazing. I am in. I am 100% committed. Bam, I am in. For those of you that are single, if you are meeting someone, it's possible that they could be somebody that works in the legal profession. If they are in the legal profession, it's very likely that they will be a police officer, a squaddy, squaddies. You know, like it could be any one of those kinds of things, but it will have a relatively sort of grounded element to it, if that makes sense. Then with the and because it is the Justice card as well, there's something that you're like, you are committed to this, 100% committed to making something work, which is, I mean, I've never seen this kind of forceful determination from you, and I'm really impressed, I have to say. When it comes to your second week of the month, you've got the Judgment card with the Devil card. I'm going to be honest with you, Pisces, this month you are hashing something out with someone, and you are not shying away from those tough conversations. I tell you, I feel sorry for anyone that either tries to downplay a situation with a Pisces, or tries to get one over on you or hoodwink you or whatever. Like, this month you are not having it. Like, I mean, with this much energy, boldness, brashness, passion, and this much like unfuckable withness, that's an explosive mix. A conversation that you do have in this second week of the month, though, could bring something to an end. This could be a friendship, it could be a familial tie, it could be something to do with your work. You know, there's something this second week of the month where you're like, no, we are not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. So interesting. For your third week of the month, you've got the High Priestess card underneath the Two of Cups. Now, I don't really, because I know a lot of people get really like stressed when I start talking about the more difficult stuff. But you've got to do it. It's part of the work, right? And if you're going to take my tarot course especially, you will know this. I will call you out on stuff and I will tell you, when you see the hard messages, you've got to talk about them. I'm sorry to say, but it does look like for a very select few of you Piscean people, if you're in a relationship, it does suggest that maybe your partner is cheating. And there is a possibility here that there is either an affair going on. This could be maybe you're in a clandestine relationship. So if you're single and you've met someone and you get into something with them, maybe they have a partner and so you're the secret. Maybe it's the other way around, right? Maybe you're in a relationship and you are seeing somebody else. With this combination of cards, it's not a case of if you get found out, it's only a case of when. Right, so just be aware that if it blows, it's going to blow big, right? So you just need to keep that as a consideration. And for those of you where somebody is potentially cheating on you, I will say, like I said earlier, like it could be a possibility that maybe you discover this because they bring something back with them that you're not impressed with. So this week, this month, this whole month, just be really careful with yourself. Now, that aside, on the more beneficial sort of aspects of this, these two can literally talk about it together. This could be a surprise that your partner has for you, which could be absolutely wonderful. It could just as easily be that you have a surprise for a partner, or that you are having a conversation about something that maybe you thought was taboo, or, you know, oh, we don't talk about that, or whatever. So there's lots of ways you can see this, but I wanted to cover some of the potential pitfalls that could come up in relationships this week. But there's lots of really positive stuff here as well, so don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say. And then for the 4th week of the month, you've got the Emperor with that Queen of Pentacles. So this is nice. Literally, that is you roping in a friend or a loved one to help you with something on a very practical level, which is nice. It also suggests as well that there is a get-together of some sort happening, but I don't know why, but it feels more like a consortium. Do you know what I mean? It's like lots of people coming together to talk about something, and there happens to be food and drink there. I mean, you had me at the food and drink, really. So that's one way that this could play out. When it comes specifically, though, to your money and your resources, if you're thinking about applying for a loan, remortgaging something, all the rest of it, this 4th week of the month, we're already into that Mercury retrograde. So you just want to be aware. If you're revising some sort of bill, debt, payment system, etc., then that could actually be quite good for you. The new moon energy, you have the Gate 37 and Sweetness. Interestingly enough as well, because of where the sun and the moon are, this month is very much going to be highlighting partnerships and relationships for you anyway, regardless. This new moon is going to show you where something really has the potential to grow. And I get the feeling that once you realize that, you're just like, you know what, I am in on it. I am going for it 100%. I'm not holding back. Like, I'm in, yes. For your full moon message, you've got the Gate 36 and Greener Grass. So for some of you Pisces, maybe there is maybe there's a temptation this week, this month, right, around the full moon. If any of this stuff that I talked about is going on, that full moon is blowing it wide open, right? The other more positive aspect of this full moon for you, this card always shows you where you may not be getting exactly what is being sold to you. So I kind of feel like that full moon is going to highlight a little bit of a try before you buy, which could actually be a good thing, right? So all in all, I don't think it's a bad month. I just think there are some potentials here for a few challenges. So, you know, now that you are forewarned, you are forearmed. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.